So I just feel really immersed right now, and everything's such great graphics.
I feel like
Hi,
my
guys.
hands can touch everything but themselves. Oh wait.
Oh man, it's gonna be amazing, especially when it gets full sort of like release and you can actually see, like how it is when you've left your controllers. Last night I was like, where have I left my other controller? I know, I'll put my headset on and there it is blaring at me. It's gonna be great when you can actually see where your hands are in like the physical space. Yeah, it's gonna be class. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Quantum Dispatch. It's just the two of us tonight. We've got CJ in the background doing all the knobs and twizzles and everything. But yeah, hello. Today we are talking VR and what we could expect to see from, I guess, engineering. And are you actually putting your headset on?
I'm trying to jiggle around everything on top of my head, but I can't. It won't fit. So I'm going to take the VR headset off now because my headphones are about to slip off. But yes, have you managed to jump into VR at all and test it out?
I haven't managed to retest it just yet.
Okay.
For everyone that's new, welcome. Yeah, I tried VR yesterday, and I think maybe I probably should have made sure there was a bit more light in the room. But yeah, it was jibbing out for me a little bit, somewhat. It's not to take away from it. Is it Sylvan? What a guy! I hear that he's driven this majority in his spare time.
Oh, really?
It's going to be a compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from what I heard, he's gone in his spare time, like a lot of the devs have done, to sort of forward stuff. And he's gone, right, I'm going to work on this in my spare time. And he said as soon as Vulcan's out, he's getting it out the door. So yeah, really, really grateful for him. Yeah, we need to get him on, talk to him about VR and where he wants to take it.
Yeah,
hello to everyone in chat. How are we doing tonight? Have you tried VR for yourself? And if not, are you looking to dabble a little bit? I must say, I'm talking to chat. Okay. You've got a VR headset in your hand. You don't need to go and buy one. It's cool. I'll tell you one thing. It was really nice for me to see. I watched Ollie43's recap on his experience, and you could just see how in love with the game he was with the use of VR, and I love that for him.
It's crazy.
And I want everyone to get that.
I think everyone. I just realised my back was to the camera for ages.
We heard you clear.
My cable
it's
in.
Fine.
Yeah, dude, it's a whole new world, man. Like, I've been playing it for. I only managed to get into it today, just because I've been away pretty much all weekend, so I haven't had a chance to jump in since it hit the PTU, or since it was discovered. I don't know which way round it was. And
I like that.
I've managed to get in today, and it blew me away. The very first thing I did was I jumped into a whole sea to see what it felt like in the sprawling letterbox misc cockpit, but also to take a big ship out, fly out into Atmo, and maybe do some cargo stuff. I never got round to doing cargo stuff, but I did dock at Everest. Oh man, it's the best looking VR game I've ever played, and I've played a lot of VR games because it doesn't look different from the normal game that we play. So you've got that high quality Star Citizen visuals just in a VR headset with really good performance. It's nuts. It's nuts. I don't know how it's been achieved, because I'm just playing the game as if I normally play it in almost the exact same quality of 4K. It just looks so nice and crisp. All the textures. Yeah, there's jank. It's not perfect just yet, but it's not like a million miles away. And you get a real scale of ship. Like when I walked up to the whole sea, I was like, oh yeah, this ship is actually really big. But when I play the game, even in it just doesn't look massive. It's hard to explain. You can't get a true sense of scale, in my opinion, in Star Citizen. But with the VR, man, yeah, it's special. I just took a Scorpius out with my buddy, and we just did some combat, and he was on the gunner, and it's just so funny. Like, you could be looking around, and you're playing, and you're in your cockpit. Obviously, I'm on the sticks. Shout out Virpil, and I'll lean round to look behind me, and just see my mate sitting in the gunner seat, and it's just a bit of oh yeah, you are actually behind me. This is sick. It's such an immersive moment. I love it, man.
Yeah, it was really cool jumping in for the first time. So I mean, the sliding scale of stuff is traditionally everyone's watching on a monitor or playing on a monitor, and I found that like Tobii was the step between playing traditionally and playing in VR in a non-intrusive setting. What I mean by non-intrusive is I'm sat here playing the game and my wife can walk up to me, the kids can say, oh dad, my brother's just punched me or whatever, and you can actually have a meaningful conversation. With the VR headset, it's very obstructive and it doesn't allow for any of that interaction. So it very much is like the sort of person who will kind of prepare time to make a list to go off and do tasks is kind of how you've got to approach playing a game in VR. Like, for instance, I play Walkabout Golf with my friend. I have to clear the room. I have to push the furniture so it fits the last time I played, and so that I know where everything sort of is in relation. Still, even then, you get twizzled around and cables get everywhere. This is going to be nicer in the fact that you can sit there, but it's still going to have that obtrusive element to it, which is obviously a bit of a shame. Obviously, hopefully VR progresses, and much like how you got pass-through on your headphones, we'll have more adaptive pass-through on your VR. So it'd be like, your wife walks into the room, it's like, alert, alert, alert. Like your wife is behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That's what's good about it, is how immersive it is, but it does mean you do have to shut yourself off from the world, which isn't always easy. With adult life, sometimes you do have, you've got kids, or you've got a pet, or you've got family, you've got a partner. Like, you're not always just on your own, able to isolate yourself from the rest of the world for hours on end. When I was a kid, I could do that. I just can't do that anymore. So it is like a bit more complicated to use VR in a meaningful way. But even if they manage to clean up the bits of jank, because there really isn't that much. I saw someone say in chat, I think Algoridimus, saying, I want to wait until it's had some polish before I get my first impressions. I wouldn't say that the first impressions right now are bad. They're really, really good. It is solid. Like, if there's a scale of 1 to 10 of how good VR could be in this game, we're already at a solid 6.5, 7, like, easily. It looks good. It plays really well. Everything works really well. There's just a few things that need to be fixed, like icons. And when you lock onto someone, you get the little icon that you locked onto them, or someone's name, like your party member's name, or like when you're quantum jumping and your target for quantum, like the little planet, and let's say it's Everest Harbor you're jumping to or whatever, that doesn't have the proper depth of field. It's really odd. It's really close to your face, even though it should be like far away in deep space. And when you look at it, it's kind of like the visor's here, so you kind of get a bit of a double vision with it, and it's a bit blurry, or you have to focus on it, and then it's a bit weird. And the Moby glass, because I'm leaning back to fly with my sticks, and this is definitely a specific to me kind of issue, but if I then lean forward to open my Moby glass on my keyboard, and then it pulls up in front of my face, because I've leaned forward to press that button, your characters move forward in space to the Moby glass, so it's like right up in your eyes, and then you have to lean back to use the map, but you have to put your hand on the mouse to navigate the map. Little things like that, or even the cursor being locked to your headset so it jitters around. There's little things like that that's a bit painful and needs some polish. But outside of that, the visuals are out of this world, literally. Cara and I flew down to I think it was Microtech just now. No, one of the moons around, I think maybe Selin or something. And as we were flying down, we were upside down, so the moon was above us and space was below us. And we looked up and you could see all the craters. And then I slowly rolled the Scorpius around, and we kind of leveled out our X-Wing wings and looked down at the planet. The enemy ship spawned in. There was a location below us. Had this really cool fight. I mean, PvP, I think VR players are going to have a huge advantage, because you have real good depth perception, and you can track everyone so cleanly compared to like any other method, I think, because you're in the space and you can make full control and full use of your entire surroundings. It's crazy. Yeah, man, it's just good. Then we landed and a Paladin came in, and we were just like looking in the sky at the contrails of this Paladin. I was like, I might only play Star Citizen in VR once it gets polished. It's the nuts, man. It is the nuts, honestly. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. I love it. I think it's perfection.
Yeah, no.
You're right.
CJ's just doing some stuff in the background.
Oh, I saw that. What did he say? What did it come up saying? This guy's a waffler. Brilliant.
But everything you said was valid, so hopefully chat is still with us and not like dozing off. The issue you had, I had in reverse. So I'm not really sure how it gets the starting position, but when I was in the cockpit, I was having to lean forward and reach over. Obviously, I've got frozen shoulder, so it was killing. Because if I leant back, my view was obstructed by a headless body. It's like just, the neck, and it just, it was taking up like a third of my vision. So to get rid of that, I was almost having to peek over the top of it. But I think now we need to revisit a lot of the ships that we've been in to really get acquainted with the space. I mean, I'd quite like to walk around the Polaris again. I know there was a lot of talk about, there wasn't quite the atmospheric lighting in the roof area. First of all, it's military. You don't need that. But second of all, now that we have VR, does it need something like that? Does it lend to the experience? I don't know. I quite would like to go and sit in the Raft. I think the Raft has got the nicest living interior of any ship out there. I would be quite happy living in a cabin in the woods that was like kitted out like that. It'd be really cool. But also, I think the nicest cockpit is the Hammerhead, with all the buttons and everything around you. I mean, they're never going to flesh all of that out, but imagine if they did. And
I don't think you'll ever have hand controls.
Click. That would be so cool, though, wouldn't it? Like, you got your Virpil sticks, you just got your hands, and maybe when they devolve it into a controller, then
it would. I don't think you're ever going to see it in Star Citizen, because the joysticks in every ship are in a different location, so your joysticks will never line up to what's in the cockpit if you're flying. And if you had to then use hand controls on the sticks, you wouldn't be able to use your joysticks. You wouldn't be able to have both. You can use one or the other, but you'd have no response in the stick to, like, when you're pulling up, when you're trying to pull up and you get to the max amount, or when you're trying to roll, or any vibrations if you're getting shot at, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's not going to happen in the VR controllers because there's no real sense of a stick in your hands. So you don't have that limitation. So you can't then use that, but you can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have clickable buttons and your Virpils. They don't work together because your hands have to be physicalized in the game. So yeah, I don't think we'll ever have that. I think if people want to do that, they'll have to have a manual setup of all the buttons and then stick to flying one ship only. If that makes sense.
I don't want that.
I don't want that, but there's no way of doing it.
I mean, ignore the Virpil, like we have people have Thrustmaster or whatever, and then so you're just reaching down and grabbing your sticks, aren't you, to fly? But apart from that, I mean, surely with machine learning, it can see that your hands are on sticks, and it just it animates the game as you would expect. And then when you take your hands off, you've got clicky buttons and switches. Stop, Screamer.
So the issue you have is not everyone's going to have sticks. Hello, Screamer. Not everyone's going to have sticks. Some people will want to be playing with VR and not have sticks. So then it has to be a setting, because people want to be able to grab the actual stick in the game.
That'd be cool.
We're going to want to be able to grab our own stick separate. Then you have the issue of, obviously the MetaQuest can pick up your hands and your fingers, but it's not perfect. I mean, I think it takes a lot of iterations before it's absolutely perfect. If you're talking about like the Apple version, whatever the Apple VR headset is, that's like $2,000, that is perfect for your fingers. Well, as close to as perfect as they can get right now. MetaQuest is what, 400 quid? It's nowhere near as good. So you're never going to have that accuracy. So you're going to have to use controllers probably, which is fine. Using controllers is absolutely fine. But yeah, I just don't see it happening personally. I don't see a world where we have clickable hands in the game and a stick. It's one or the other. But that doesn't bother me too much. I quite like just having mouse and keyboard and sticks and just using VR to look around. But it would be super immersive if we could click buttons. It would be.
I quite like your idea of a setting. And then say, for instance, you don't have sticks at all and all you've got is a VR headset. You could virtualize the sticks. In fact, there's games that do this. No Man's Sky does this. But you have actual controllers.
How do you mean?
And you reach down in the sort of general area and you engage the click button.
Oh, okay.
So on the controller, and it takes control of the stick. And no Gridimus is saying that he's not sure if he'd like to grab someone else's stick. Some people like to grab other people's
right.
stick, and that's fine. But yeah, you've got that ability.
Set a controller zone. Then when your controllers reach that zone, it then turns into stick mode.
Which would be per ship. But then you can switch it off and just say, right, okay, I'm going to grab hold of my physical sticks. I still prefer, because you've got clutch control, you've got actual real life resistance, more accuracy. Whereas otherwise you're at the mercy of how accurate your cameras are, depending on how much available light you've got. Is it daylight? Is it artificial light? Which type of light? The hertz of the light compared to the camera. You're in for a mess if it comes to that minute sort of like calculations. But for the sake of like clicking buttons and doing like pinch commands, brilliant for buttons.
Yes. Yeah. It might be dumb. Who knows? I don't think it will. I think it will be as it is now, personally. But it would be amazing to have all clickable buttons and actual physicalized hands. They have said they want to have like the proper suits and like hand controls and like all that stuff. So we may very well see a world where they implement that. I don't know. I think right now it still feels relatively balanced, because it's basically just your head that you can use, and you can kind of just look around on the spot and do a little bit of leaning and stuff. And that feels pretty balanced. I think if they do a full bodysuit stuff, you do get into the realms of PvP being unbalanced and other issues, because someone in VR could like lay prone, crawl up into a ball and look under a chair and look for people's feet walking past a doorway or something, and then shooting under it or whatever, right?
You can do that already though. You can go prone.
You can go prone, you can, but there's definitely spots that you can't get into, but in VR you could. So it does then beg the question of, how do you balance that against people that aren't using it compared to people that are? Essentially, because
you could peek a corner better in VR.
You could do a lot of stuff with VR that you can't do in normal controls. Even if it's just something as stupid as like picking up an object and like holding it around the corner to like draw out a shot or something like that. Stuff that you can't quite do in the game with as much precision. So there is this thing of, if we just keep it how it is, it's purely for the immersion and like the head tracking and stuff, which already is an advantage, but it's not something you can't do out of VR. How far do we actually want it to go? Because it would be amazing for the people that have all the kit. And I mean, there's people that have spent 10 grand on these amazing running on the spot wheels, and they're all strapped in and they've got all the real guns and stuff. Amazing. You're going to have a huge advantage over like anyone else. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, but it's so cool as it is. If they left it as it is, man, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. How much are we looking at now for VR headsets?
The Meta Quest. So the VR gaming industry was really struggling a couple of years ago. Like VR games were not selling, VR headsets were not selling. So Meta, Facebook, came out with the Meta Quest 3, and they actually reduced the price compared to other headsets. So I think the HTC Vive, I know this is a really long-winded answer to your question, but it's relevant. The HTC Vive, when it came out, was like 600 quid. And the Meta Quest 3, like the best version of it, I believe, is like 500 or 400 and something. Stop it, CJ. I see it, CJ. Stop it. So yeah, like I think you can get them for like 250, 350, something around that for the cheaper version of them with the less memory. There you go.
Just
MetaQuest 3 for 340. It's not bad.
Poll quickly.
PSVR with an adapter is the best because it's the cheapest OLED lenses. That's cool. I didn't know they had OLED lenses in the PSVR. 500 for the Meta 3. Is that for the big memory version? I can see CJ trying to do something, and it worries me.
He's ready to go. I'm not sure about PSVR. I've got the PSVR 2, and I have got the box to plug it into the PC, and I did, and it didn't work. Then they released a patch for it, which bricked the hardware, and that was a while ago, so I'm hoping that that's been patched out, but I need to check. And then I could do a comparison, PSVR 2 versus MetaQuest 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, the MetaQuest 3 has much higher resolution than other headsets, or one of the highest screen resolutions per screen than other headsets, so it visually looks really good. I don't think it's OLED though, but I can't remember. There's loads of options for VR. Basically, you don't have to break the bank for it. If you have the money, buy the Apple ones. I think they're the most advanced and have the cleanest lenses and stuff, and crazy quality and power. But yeah, I don't think it really matters. I'm sure there's. Didn't Steam have one? The Index. Are they bringing out a new one? The Valve Index or something? Is there a Valve Index 2 coming? Something like that.
There's always new iterations. There's one VR company that I wanted to approach a while ago, actually, that I can't remember the name of right now. Really small, relatively new startup. They're at a grand a piece though. We've got a use case for trying to reach out to them for next year for when we do that event that we were talking about. Just gonna sprinkle that in the chat, let them get talking. But it's going to be interesting for sure. It'll be interesting to see what people are like, and they'll be like, "Do you want to try it with VR, or do you want to try it without VR?" And
I will say it did give me a little bit of motion sickness after about an hour. Where usually I can play VR games for ages, so I've played a lot of VR, and I can play for hours and hours and not get motion sick. But Star Citizen, there's a lot going on, and it did make. Even though I'm sitting down, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to get used to this." But it is cool, very cool.
yeah, I'm cracked, man. You can put me in anything, and I don't generally get sick at all. You can put me upside down,
Famous last words.
I probably should have been a fighter pilot or something like that in a previous life, but yeah, I don't get sick or nothing in VR. It's really, really weird. I've had a couple of times where you turn, oh, I almost fell over there, and that's about it.
Yeah, equilibrium.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're on the right way. We're on the right path. Loads of people are complaining about VR coming out now. They're like, "Oh, why? Why is it? Why are they concentrating on this rather than the building the game?" Is the thing I've heard a lot of. But as you said at the beginning, this was a passion project more than anything from a dev that did it in their spare time.
It just shows that people don't know what they're talking about. And I mean, we've seen this a lot recently, that resurgence of, oh, it's a £40,000 ship. No, it's not. Do some research. Oh, you're just a white knight. No, I'm just a realist. You only need to spend $45. Yeah, but the game, it's they keep moving the goalposts to try and fit their own argument. It's you know nothing about this game.
Yeah.
You're never going to know anything unless you try. Don't knock something until you try it, and then maybe then I'll listen to an opinion. And then the guy was like, "Oh, I can see your account exists purely to promote this game." I was like, well, maybe I know what I'm talking about then. In knobhead.
Yeah.
The internet's full of these people, aren't they? They're interested in just what's quick and what's easy, and not what's true. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, right?
The internet gets swayed. The problem with the internet, and it's both a blessing and a curse, is everyone has an opinion, and anyone can voice that opinion, including us.
And the only opinion they want to hear is theirs, but coming out of your mouth.
There's no IQ test to having access to the internet, and that's an issue. And that's the long and short of it, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of there's people that are not willing to read and do their own research before having an opinion because they follow someone else that has an opinion, or they like IGN or PC Gamer or any of those other journalists that write some BS articles about Star Citizen.
Oh, GameSpot is the worst.
I mean, dude, it's so bad. It's they sell packages for $40,000 and therefore, what was the headline one of them had recently? The game that costs $40,000 to play finally has Vulkan support or something like that, and it's like, oh, they don't understand.
I think CJ's having too much fun in production today.
I think CJ might only be production after days. He's loving it too much.
Must admit, his tracking was quite good then.
Oh yeah, it was really good. I was watching that.
It is pretty fun.
Oh, he's here. Hello. Cool. Right, engineering. I guess we spoke quite a bit about VR now. Engineering. You're really pro engineering. I am very cautiously optimistic. Has to be absolutely 100% correct before being released en masse, because if it makes gameplay not fun, then we're going to lose the player base, and then no one is going to want to go into an empty universe. It's very much akin to like when Master Modes was first introduced, and everyone was like, "Oh no, I don't really want to do this." And how are we going to do this? And the player base. I mean, our Discord group just dropped off. Like, we went from 19 consecutive players every night down to 3, and it was like, at this point, even I was worried. I was like, "What's going to happen?" Over time, it's been iteratively like improved, and people have started coming back, and now we're at sort of decent numbers again.
They're getting rid of it anyway.
I know they're getting rid of that, but now we're introducing something which is potentially even more game breaking. If you can't make a simple trip, like, I mean, we're doing PTU testing, C1 sets on fire in the hangar, brand new stock, so there's no like component mismatch, nothing, and it sets on fire. That's a deeply rooted issue, and that has to be completely ironed out. There can't be any sort of issues like that when it goes to live, really. You have a few quirks, 100%. But like it's got to work, and it has to be fun.
Yes and no. Yes and no. I totally agree that it has to work, and that's the whole point of the PTU, is to iron out the big bugs that stop it from working, like it spontaneously combusting in the hangar. I haven't had anything like that. I've played the PTU a fair amount, granted after you had your spontaneous combustion, and I have not had that happen once, so maybe that was just a weird bug on the night you were playing, because none of my ships have randomly caught fire as of yet. But I think it balances the game, which is why I like it. No more solo Polarises, no more solo Idrises. It's not really a possibility, especially if you're getting shot by something like a Perseus or anything that has ballistics, an Ion or an Inferno. If they can get through your shields and take down one of your shield generators, your quantum drive, whatever, or your power plant, you're in a real sticky situation. If you then catch fire, you've got no hope of keeping that ship alive on your own, or with 2 people, or even with 3, of a really big ship. And that's how it should be. I hate to say it, because I know, well, no, actually I love to say it. What am I talking about? There's so many whales, man, that are like, but I spent 1,500 on my Idris and I can't fly it solo. And it's like, yeah, welcome to what the game was meant to be.
Yeah, it's a huge ship.
It's a 30-person cruise ship. You're not supposed to fly it on your own. It's literally the whole point of it. So, yeah, I can see it. And yeah, so it's one of those things of like, the only kind of player it really impacts, in my opinion, are solo players flying ships that are not single seaters, which is a lot of people, including myself. Like, I play with friends, I play with people a lot, but I also play on my own a lot, and I don't always fly single seat ships. I might fly Zeus, I might fly they're not really single crew either, are they? Like, a Zeus has 4-person crew, which kind of adds into the whole multi-crew argument. But a Clipper is a good example. A Clipper's a hard ship to manage on your own, and it is a single person ship. albeit it has those 2 jump seats. You could have an engineer if you wanted. But like if you're flying a Zeus, you're flying what's the ship that everyone loves? The Spirits, any of the Spirits. Vanguard even. Vanguard's a single sheet ship, but it has an interior that you go into. Anything like that, that's where it gets tricky. Because at the moment, as far as I'm aware, and this really needs to change, your whole HP, also your power plant is like linked to your hull HP. So as soon as your hull HP drops to like almost 0, your power plant just catches fire and you lose power to the ship, and then you're just a sitting duck. And at that point, you might as well be soft def, because unless you have a wingman taking on the ship that just shot your power plant out, you're never going to be able to repair it without dying, because they'll just keep shooting you and it keeps going to 0. So there needs to be like I think the first component that goes down should be like a shield gen. I know it's supposed to be targeted.
Yeah, for sure.
It's supposed to be like targeted, but it always feels like it's the power plant because it's like tied to, and that is wrong because then you might as well be soft def.
I feel like it should be like as difficult 22 Jump Street, where like it's going to blow up and they're like disappointed that it doesn't blow up. This is how often fire should be attainable in the game. It's too easy. Why is metal flooring catching on fire? Why is it spreading so fast? Why does everything have to set on fire? Why can't, when the power plant goes down, it just, it doesn't work anymore? Just, it's gone down, it's broken.
Because it goes back to what you said of the game needs to be fun. Like Sea of Thieves when everything catches fire. I know it's wood. I get it.
It doesn't always catch fire. You get a hole in your ship. You have a hole in your ship. You don't get a hole in your ship and it sets on fire. No. Unless you're using the appropriate munitions.
But you're not being shot by laser weapons, and laser weapons are what sets it on fire.
Okay, but what about ballistics?
They can, but it's a lower chance.
Right.
So laser weapons have like, let's say, I don't know what the exact stat was. They did say it. 70%, let's say, chance of setting you on fire, and ballistics like 10% of setting you on fire.
Right, I haven't seen that bit.
Yeah, so there is a difference. Your munitions make a difference. So the idea is you punch through with with ballistics to get through the shields and take out the shield gen, and then you hit them with lasers and you set them on fire, or you use lasers to take down their shields and then you pepper them with ballistics to shred them apart. So you can kind of do it either way. But yeah, you can absolutely set fire with laser weapons easier than ballistics. That's the intended thing anyway. But it's for fun, right? Like, I really enjoy the fire gameplay, and the fact you can vent it by opening out like your ramp, and if there's it will like the oxygen will be starved and the fire will go out, and it will cool down the interior. That's in now. I like that you can go and shoot it with a fire extinguisher and stuff. It's so immersive and adds extra gameplay, because otherwise your crew are literally sitting there doing nothing. They might be gunning, and if there's not enough gun seats, they're just doing nothing. So I like engineering. I think it adds such a key part of the game that is needed for balancing and for fun and for gameplay mechanics. Sea of Thieves would be nothing if you didn't have holes in your ship and had to repair it with wood during fights.
For sure, you've got to balance. Like, are you getting the anchor up? Are you reboarding? Are you trying to raise the sail back up? But I just want to take a moment for Shylock. It's their first message. It tickled me pink. 99.7% of all ship fires should start in the toilet. That's where the real hidden danger is. Welcome to the Quantum Dispatch, Mr. Shylock. Question: if you open a door in space, does it vent the atmosphere and put the fire out? And this is where you were saying it does, but I was playing the last PTU patch and someone had taken an Idris into space and the door was open. It was on fire, but I said the door was open. So why is it not venting? It was the same with the C1. The back ramp was open, the back door was open, and it was the main cargo hold that started on fire. And it was almost like there was an invisible barrier that it couldn't traverse over that. But like that was a while ago. It should have been fixed. We're approaching this release candidate time for the patch to come out for December. If fire is still contained in that area and isn't always venting to outer space, that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if it does it from how deep inside the ship it does, but right now, let's say the fire was in your cargo bay of like, let's say a C2, or any of the Hercules ships, if it was in the bottom half of that ship in the cargo area and you open your cargo ramp, it will go out. in the Perseus, if you have a fire in your main components bay where the hangar doors are, and you open the hangar, like drop the ramp, it goes out. So it is in, and I did actually test in my video, and someone commented about it. I tried to do it where I turned off life support in a couple of rooms, and then took my helmet off to see if I suffocated, and I didn't. But I didn't do it with an open ramp. I didn't get rid of the oxygen, so there was loads of oxygen still in the ship. So I'm gonna try and do that. I'm gonna take my helmet off and just like vent it out and see if it's actually linked to the life support or not yet. But yeah, you can absolutely vent oxygen to starve a fire, and as soon as you close a ramp, you'll see it start heating up again because the oxygen starts to rebalance, and then it catches fire again. It's really cool, man. Like, they've done it really well.
There was a poll up, and there was only one vote for CJ's cute, so I assume CJ voted for himself. Well done, buddy. Well done. There's some conversation going on in chat about why CJ wants a name reservation for the golem.
Oh yeah,
make it so noodle.
Burn straight through. It should be like James Bond. Like laser just cutting things in half. I get why people are worried, and I'm worried too. I'm worried more for like the balancing of financials, like time to money. Right now, loads of people do bounty hunting missions, PvE, let's say, just PvE, because it's good money, or they do combat missions in general because it's good money and it's fun. But right now, let's say you get a 100,000 contract right now, which is not a lot, but let's say that's the amount just for easy maths, and you have 4 people in your crew, you included, so 3 other people, and you share that mission. You share 25 grand each, right? Which is tiny money. Let's say you complete that mission, you can then go and rearm, repair, and go and do another mission, and it takes like 5 minutes, and then you can do another one. The amount of money you earn in like an hour will be quite generous because the repairs should be quite cheap. The rearming should be cheap unless you're using torps, and you can just get out and do it again. They're obviously going to put repair cost up. They haven't yet, as far as I'm aware. They might have. I haven't actually checked, but I don't think I've heard anyone else mention that. They're obviously going to put cost of repairs through the roof so that it makes people want to repair their own ships, which is understandable. But the issue you've got now is if you share that mission of 100 grand with 3 people and you've got 25 grand each, and then you're spending 10 minutes repairing your ship before you go out and do another mission, or 20 minutes, the amount of money you can actually earn per hour as a group is going to like substantially drop because there's such a time sink now into repairing and preparing for the next one. So I think they need to change the mission system, even if it's just for bounty missions right now. I think when you share a mission, it should scale so that you getting a mission with your friend should add an extra like 0.5, 50% onto the overall cost. So if it's 100 grand and I share it to you, that overall mission is now worth 150 and our share is 75 each. So I'm still making less than 100, but we're not making 50 each, we're making 75 each. And if you scale that up to 4 people, it becomes a 250 grand mission and we all make like 62 grand each, or whatever the maths is. So I think that's how it should be, because as soon as you start dropping it down to 25 grand a person, it's like, what's the point of doing these missions? We're not earning anything, and we can't even really afford to go and do stuff after the mission because it costs so much to rearm the ammo. It just seems silly. So I do think we need to see scaling missions at a percentage, not direct double ever.
Yeah. I think there's sort of like a push for people to sort out their pledge fleets for 1.0, and they're scoping them out like, oh yeah, I really want to have like a reclaimer, and I want to have the Idris in my fleet when it goes live. You're gonna have to be able to afford them. So unless you want it to just sit there in your hangar doing nothing, people really need to sort of work out what they're doing with their pledge fleets. I know I'm going for a couple on the right, like expensive ones, and then the majority will be on the left where I can earn some real money. And then the real point to playing the game is earning everything in the middle and earning everything I need on that's expensive.
Yeah, the cost of running stuff is going to be really expensive.
Yeah, it should be. Absolutely should be. Stuff is really expensive in real life.
Yeah, and people, that's the other side of the argument of the pay to win, right? People are like, oh, but you can just buy a $2,000 ship and then you have an Idris on day one. Like, yeah, of course you do. Good luck running that Idris on day one. Good luck getting it out of the hangar and being able to do anything for more than 5 minutes in that thing without having more money to refuel it than you have in your bank at that point in the game. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts. Like, I get the pay to win. You don't have to earn the ship in the first place. But even the whales are going to have to wait, probably like a month of gameplay of earning and grinding out their finances before they can actually use those ships as a daily driving ship as a crew, because it's going to be so expensive to run them. Look at the torps, like an Eclipse. I love the Eclipse. What a pointless ship. It has 3 torps, size 9, I believe they are. They're
2 size 2s?
2 size 2, so basically BB guns that do nothing.
What are they even for?
I don't know. What's the point of them? The ship is not even remotely maneuverable enough to use them. At least make them 2 size 4s or something, so it can do something defensively if you get into a scrap. And 3 torps that are size 9, and if you fire all 3 of them, it's 850 grand right now to rearm that ship, because crafting's not in and we can't craft our own missiles or torps just yet. And on top of that, the only time you're going to be using size 9s that's going to be worthwhile is if you're doing a mission that's earning you enough money back, which is going to be, or someone with cargo, which is going to be a big ship like a Polaris. And those Polarises are going to just shoot down those torps. So you've just shot 850 grand for a PDC to go, boop.
Yeah, PDCs are too accurate, I think.
They are. And I get there's a gameplay like step of like, someone's got to take them out before the eclipses come in. I get it. But
it's almost like they are automatically pointed within a split second on the right point, and they are all converged at the right distance, and they all boom, just it's gone.
This is a test, right? I wanted to do this as a video. I can't get enough people together to do this with me. So someone in chat, if I haven't done this in the next couple of weeks, feel free to take this idea and put it on YouTube, because I think it's a really good YouTube video. Get like 20 eclipses and get an Idris. Surround the Idris and all fire all 3 of your torps at the same time, all size 9 torps from different angles. Do the PDCs have enough to defend, or will all those torps just blow the Idris up because it doesn't have enough time for the PDCs to accurately defend against those torps? I would love to see it. I just don't have enough friends with eclipses to do it. If anyone wants to help me make that video, let me know. But I think that'd be sick. Honestly, I think that'd be sick.
Sounds expensive. Without committing insurance fraud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Right, so we're almost out of time. There's one other thing that's going on at the moment, and that's Luminalia. So I know CJ is ready in the background with the Luminalia page, so let's get that up, please. Computer enhance. Right, that's Banu, isn't it? That text there. I'm sure it probably just says Merry Christmas or Season's Greetings. But it'd be interesting to know exactly what that says. Something might be hiding in plain sight. Right, should we get up the ships, what everyone's coming in for, CJ? Scroll, baby, scroll. Oh, look who hasn't claimed his own prizes yet.
I was leaving it for this occasion.
It's an unboxing.
Okay.
Let's go day 1.
Unboxing of stuff on Luminalia.
Day 1, CJ's going to be very happy.
On
the first day of Christmas. So it's a
Chris Roberts
Golem and
me.
Ox dual skin. And I have to say, the Deck the Halls, I really like that. It's quite military. The
bottom one.
Yeah.
It looks really nice on the Golem.
When we got it for the Gladius last year, I was really happy because it's such a beautiful skin.
Yeah, it does look good. Oh no, that's not for the Golem. That's the Ox, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's cross compatible.
How are they? Beautiful.
Yeah, Golem Ox.
Oh, it is. Of course it is. Yeah. Beautiful.
That's fine. We're getting to the point now where there's so much going on in Star Citizen, you can't possibly keep it up, like all the information.
Oh yeah.
Which is a nice problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's go for day 2.
On the second day of Christmas, Chris Roberts gave to me.
It's quite a nice little pistol. I feel like my hangar is full of stuff like this now. Like all the armor sets that I've attained over the time, and it's like special weapons and that. It's just, you go to your hangar and it's just a multitude of colours just shining at you. But I'm not unappreciative. Like, it's nice. Day 3.
On the third day of Christmas, Chris Roberts gave to me Sorry, I didn't realize that echo was so deep.
That was really good. I like it. I like that.
I like that.
Clothes. Unless you're going to a meetup that's Christmas inspired, I don't see this getting any use. But yeah, Lloyd's put a good thing in chat. It's like, it'd be nice when we can display, like put them in a cabinet and display this sort of stuff. Especially when it comes to like some of the rarer stuff, you'll be able to show it off. And I think like just have a mobile like cabinet that you can just slam down somewhere in your hanger and create like a collector's corner in your hanger. That I would really like to see that in persistence.
I think we need more than anything, dude, is the suit lockers. I know they're going to be coming with crafting because it's kind of like, in Minecraft, you get the mannequins. We've kind of seen that in the trailers of like Star Citizen. They have like the Minecraft mannequins for your suits. So I'm guessing suit lockers will work the same way. You just pop your suit in. I just want that. I want to walk around in my ship in normal clothes, and then when the time cometh, I have to suit up and then go out. I don't like the idea of always sitting in these big clunky suits when I'm sitting down having a sandwich or something, right? So that's when things like this come in, because you could walk around your ship looking dope with your blue and white sweater with the belt. I don't. What even is it?
Pass. Top. Non-descriptive.
On the 4th day of Christmas, Chris Roberts gave to me.
That again, really, really nice. Deck the Hall skin for the C1. The moment they brought out the Luminalia stuff, I was like, right, I can see the C1s there, the Scorpius is in there, the Golem, and then there was something else as well. I can't remember right now. And I was like, I really hope we get a Deck the Hall's skin for that. So I'm really happy that we've got that. Such a beautiful skin. Yeah,
it does look really nice. The Deck the Halls looks good on everything. It's that perfect, the red and green. Yeah, I love it. The top one's good as well. The Icebreaker's good as well.
Yeah.
Am I doing it again?
Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
All right. On the 5th day of Christmas, Chris Roberts gave to me. I did the wrong one.
It still worked. Okay, so you got an Icebreaker. Is that the SMG? I can't. Yeah, the one. It's really small on my screen. I can't quite.
Yeah, it's the Luminalia. It's the Pico Quartz Energy SMG.
Ah, nice. A little Pico inspired. That's really cool. That's really cool.
On the 6th day of Christmas, it's only day 5, isn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's only day 5. We have to find out tomorrow. What's predictions? What's the predictions for tomorrow?
Deck the Hall paints.
I reckon it's clothing.
No, I reckon it's Deck the Hall. Oh yeah, no, actually it would trend with clothing, wouldn't it?
Yep.
A red and green top.
Oh, you mean the same top being red and green?
Probably not the exact same top, but it could be, because that's like Icebreaker, isn't it? That first one. So if they did a Deck the Halls version of the same top, so red and green, it would follow the trend.
What would you like to see for
as a Luminalia gift?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're always a bit like they're either really good or like surprisingly good, like the as we said, like the Deck the Halls paints on some of the ships, or they're just a bit like, yeah, that's nice of them to give us that, but I'm never going to use it, kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm trying to look back quickly at like previous Luminalias of what we've got and what I was kind of like blown away with or really, really stoked with. And I'm just trying to, I know we've got a lot of, I mean, obviously we've had Deck the Hall and Icebreaker since 2022, or at least that's when I started claiming them.
Gridimus, that's a great show, actually. Hanger flare like an Xmas tree.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
We have had, like, we had the Sextant and we had the Pico.
It's not a Christmas tree, is it?
No. I'm talking about we had like items. Because so far we've just had paints and guns and a shirt. We have had items in the past, so like a Christmas tree would be really cool. Yeah, there's been loads of plushies and stuff.
CJ, you have to clarify what COC means for those that don't know. Oh, Clash of Clans.
Oh god,
that's no way of outing yourself. Right, what else we got? It's fancy pants. I really like the idea of a helmet with tinsel around it. Magnus says Idris. You know what would be kind of cool that I was thinking of in the background is for those that have played any of the EA sort of like FIFA or EA Club or whatever it's called now, you get the option like a pix. So imagine you go, right, okay, 6-day Luminalia, you bring it up and it's like, whoa, you get to choose one of 3 CCUs. And it's like, account bound is locked to whatever you do. So like you can use it in your chain as you would, but you get to choose which of the 3, you know, you get to choose. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I would, yeah.
You go for something
I
you...
also wouldn't mind if there was just like a random present unboxing where you click it and you have a % chance to get something really cool or something that's just like not as cool but still good. Like if like
I mean, you could have this
kit or something,
or you can gamble and have something else.
As long as it wasn't like a paid for thing, like pay $2 and get a random loot box, because then we get into the realms of, like,
no
how much,
one's
like,
loot
I don't want any of
boxes,
that
but if it's free, it's free.
Yeah, like we have had some cool stuff for Luminalia before. I'm a sucker for any like physical items that we can put in our hangars and stuff eventually, or in our bases when we can do that. So yeah, because the one thing I've never understood is like, you know, when we do like the year of the X cards for the Chinese New Year stuff.
Yeah.
Never really understood what the point of any of those were, because you can't open them or do anything with them. But I get it's just to like celebrate the occasion. But I think there could be cooler stuff we could do with that.
Well, each year, as long as you find an envelope, you get given an envelope in your hangar, which you can cash in when the wipes happen, or you could. There was a display case that was given out, and you can display them on there.
Was that a subscriber store thing though?
No, I don't think it was. You know, I think it was like it was just given to everyone. I'm not sure though. It might have been, but
I don't remember the case. But I've got loads of the envelopes.
It's just like a little stand. A turtle with a Santa hat.
That would be cool. Or a fuse, same thing, right? Yeah, that would be cool actually. What the heck? Oh,
Poster
a
Christmas
clipper.
lights.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
what else
you could bring out some Christmas lights that you can sort of like zigzag across the wall, and then for Day of the Vara next year, you can make it like have like a Stranger Things sort of like effect.
Yeah.
Use the same gear twice. Hire me, CRG.
I would like Christmas lights in general to like decorate our ship.
Yeah.
The
only issue is in today's day and age is if you're celebrating one, you've got to celebrate them all, and then you have to bring Hanukkah and Eid and all the other religious celebrations into it.
Well, not necessarily, because we're doing Luminalia.
Yeah,
which
but
is
Luminalia is fictional. It's not Christmas. It's
no, but it's around the same time as Christmas. It's celebrated during December, right? So I think and it's got the whole like however many days of Luminalia. Like the whole point is it's the same kind of festival, right? So that argument, shouldn't we be doing it for all the rest as well? I get what you're saying, but what difference does it make if they just give it a different name?
Stillwicker wants a leg lamp like the Christmas Story, but it's a Vandal leg. Fair. Put some tinsel on it. Call it Luminalia.
Yeah, I don't know. It's good. I like that they do it. It's nice of them to do it. I do think we could probably get some cooler things, but I guess everyone's different of what they are looking for out of stuff like this, right? Like paints don't really bother me anymore because I like to pick my paints because I'm so specific. I don't think I've ever actually put any of the Luminalia paints on anything. But yeah, it's good.
TJ's still waiting for the IRL plushie. We're not going to talk about that.
I've got loads of in real life stuff in my hangar that I don't think I'm ever going to get.
I would really like to get, the Vandal plushie they just brought out with the Citizen Compact. I would love that in real life. As a grown adult male, I want that. I would probably buy a few because that if that sells out, they're going to sell for loads.
Yeah.
Just scalping them. No, I'm just kidding. But good giveaways for the channel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't sold more stuff like from the backlog. Like I've got a jukebox and a grand piano that I got from back in the game back in 2014, like as part of the subscriber store, and some of it was part of the Kickstarter thing, right?
You have a piano.
Huh?
You have the piano.
Yeah, the grand piano.
You kept that hidden.
Why?
It's like one of the most sought after items.
It's sick. Yeah, you can
It's
actually
like-
pull it out now. The Hartwell Music Sentinel AHG.
Yeah, it's like $700. Some are sold over $1,000, but they sell at $700. That I saw last I checked.
Damn. Well,
There's your rent
I
for
like
a
it.
month. Or your
well,
mortgage.
I like it though. I pull
like
it out
it.
every now and then when I'm decorating my hangar, and I can play a couple of tunes on it.
Oh man, this could go down a rabbit hole here. I would love to be able to have that, but you're able to plug in a MIDI keyboard into your PC and actually use it. So you
Yeah,
can
that
use a
would be
MIDI
cool.
keyboard and play a melody in game. Why is that going to be amazing? Because you could hire an IRL pianist to come into Star Citizen to sit on your 890 Jump or a Connie Phoenix, which it was designed for, and play tunes for, say, like a Christmas festival. Or you just want to have a party and you hire a pianist. You have concerto, like in game, bro. That's so. I think it's cool.
Yeah,
Shut the
that's
fuck
really
up.
cool. Yeah,
I think it's cool.
yeah, I like the idea. Like, I want to put it on my ships and stuff. I just because we can't get anything back when we lose it, I cannot be bothered to constantly like move stuff around. Like, I would love to put that piano on a ship and take it out into the verse, like put it onto an 890 Jump or something, and have like someone play music as people got on board. That'd be great. I'm just not risking it because if it blows up, you lose it. You can't insure items. Like, it's going to be in my base, right? But only in the high secure sector. Yeah, there's loads of stuff like that. I'm surprised they haven't resold again. Like workbenches, loads of stuff. I've got fish tanks.
Right, Lloyd's gonna get banned from chat. Full body pillow vandal. No, thank you. In-universe radio stations, I would love that. As long as it's done right, yeah, I would love that.
Yes,
I'd really
that
like
would
that.
be. But it's going to happen. We know that's going to happen. Like in-universe radio stations and TV shows like GTA. Like I want to be able to go on. When I'm in Quantum, I love the idea of like watching a TV show, then it drops out because I've left that sector. I've left ArtCorp. I've lost my favorite TV show, and then suddenly Hurston's TV shows come on, and I'm flicking through that as I'm getting closer. Like I want more stuff to do during Quantum jumps, because right now it's so boring. You just do nothing. And if you're in the Clipper, if there's a 10-minute jump. I think it's like Lorville to Nick's Gateway in the Clipper. Standard is like 9.5 minutes. That is a lot of nothing time. Like, what other game out there has 10 minutes of you doing absolutely nothing for no reason, other than maybe Tarkov? Or, you know, it's just a bit like, yeah, I want more stuff to do during Quantum, and a radio show or a TV show would be much appreciated.
TV show might be going a bit far. Just hold up a minute. Hold up. Like, just pull away from the mission area. Oh my god, it's on, and you all sat around watching some kind of program.
It'd be amazing. Like,
It'd be cool, but
we will have TV shows that are pre-made. It's just like
as long as they're
ever
not
watch the Perseus
cringe,
trailer?
I'm fine.
Have you watched the Perseus trailer?
I think so.
The Perseus like reveal trailer when IE started,
Oh yeah, I would have. Yeah.
and they're fighting the Polaris, and they're fighting the Idris, and the Polaris is there, and then the Vandal show up.
Mm.
Cinema, man. Like, I would watch that if it was a TV show. So CIG have skilled editors, skilled writers, skilled sound engineers, or people that have built these chip adverts that we all know and love, and like the Constellation advert, going back to that, and it's like, oh, this is amazing. So they have the ability to make that kind of stuff for a ship trailer. Like a couple of like TV shows or something in the universe, even if it's like a cartoon, whatever, it's going to be like a bit of work, obviously, for that team. But when 1.0 comes out, I don't think, well, we shouldn't be seeing a ship releasing every month like we do now. I'm sure we will, but those teams will have to have some stuff to do, or need some stuff to do, I should say. I would like to see some in-game TV shows, and yeah, I think it'd be really immersive.
That'd be really
Even news, even if it was just news, dude. This just in, the Vandal have broken into Nick's space again.
Make it like
really help.
lore relevant. Yeah, it could be that
Yeah.
you take a mission and then like the radio changes and you get your sort of like mission briefing, but kind of like in a news format where you
Yeah,
get
we had that
the
in
general scope.
one of the updates, right? One of the patch updates was like a news broadcast. I can't remember what one it was. I think it was when the reviving went out of the game or whatever. That big event where you couldn't, whatever, tier 0, when that came in and we had the whole you can't regen crisis. That's it.
Yeah.
There was like
Just
a whole news thing about it.
Needle was saying about Fatbird ship ads, and you've got a
Yeah.
wealth of content creators out there. You've got Scooter. Imagine him doing like some kind of like Nat Geo style like
Yeah, man.
program.
There's so many content creators that would be happy to get involved with that kind of stuff. Like I've done some ship trailer stuff, not as good as Fatbird or Scooter, but I would happily help and do stuff with my VFX and editing stuff.
Imagine if they would like submit and we'll say yes or no.
That's what CIG should do. Submit loads of ship trailers, and then either ask the person if it's good enough. Like Fatbirds would probably be good enough off the bat to just use, but it saves the team time, and they definitely just take like community videos and put them on. Even if it was a community TV show, and it was videos from the community and all the machinima that we see around YouTube on like a community TV show channel in game would be amazing. Have you ever seen the machinima Alien on YouTube? Mate,
There's so much stuff out there in there.
someone made Star Citizen with Alien, like Alien, what I'm talking about, the Xenomorph, and
Is this on the Reclaimer?
on the Reclaimer, and then
I've
it
seen.
crashes, and it's all voice acted. Like really amazing machinima creators. Just whack them into a TV show rather than on YouTube. But the only downside is you're then taking the YouTube views away from the creator. So it'd have to be the creator's choice. They can't just take them.
Yeah.
But if you're not in it for money, which not many Star Citizen creators are in it for money, because there's no money in content creation in Star Citizen really in the grand scheme of things, because it's such a small niche game right now. I just think you could get loads of people on board that have passion for the projects and want to submit stuff to that would be amazing. I think I've spoke about the next great starship coming back to I'm Blue in the Face. Like I want them to do that again, but we'll never see that again, unfortunately. But that would be amazing. And that's my dog saying it's
Betty
time to wrap
agrees.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is time. Right, we're overtime, in fact. But thank you ever so much, all of you, for dropping in, staying around, chatting with us, and just letting us listen to us waffle about engineering and VR. We're obviously really excited for what's going to come, and we're interested in what is left on that Luminalia tree of free giveaways. But next week, we have our last and final stream of the year.
I like
I
that.
implore you to come down to it. Dr. Shaquille, are you still with us? Type in chat if you are. You especially, my friend, do not want to miss next week. We've got quite a bit to give away now, and it's just going to be a great fun time. Bring a drink. We'll be answering questions. It's 8 p.m. GMT, so we're going to be a bit earlier than what we usually are, but it's going to go for longer. It's going to be a great time. SWAT up on your general knowledge, SWAT up on your pop culture, SWAT up on SC, what's going on in the science world. Yeah, we're going to have all sorts of questions for you. Apart from that, get ready for next year and a whole new round and a whole new leaderboard of the Concierge Challenge. We're going to go for a whole year, and you're going to have to balance whether you want to go and try and get maximum points early, or you're going to play sort of like the field and see what comes out at IAE and all the other events where they release ships, just so you can bolster your fleet and say, well, actually, this might fit better. Play the judges.
No, that's a terrible idea. Get him in
It's an
early.
awesome
Otherwise,
idea.
because otherwise we're going to go with 6 months and no one's going to bother putting in a challenge because they're waiting for the next best ship. Get him in early.
Get him in early, yeah. Fair point. Get him in. George, you got anything for the masses?
No, I've rambled way too much on this podcast. I'm good.
It's afraid of CJ putting something on him. Right, I guess that's it. Thank you ever so much, and see you next week. Hope you win some prizes. Ciao.
Goodbye.